Alright, I am the Southern Lad. Welcome to this video. Today I'll be showing you a project in which I'm working on. It's a railway line that I'm building which used to run from Lewes to Uckfield. It's sort of the nearest railway line to me, apart from the Bluebell. What I'll do in this video is I'll show you up and down the line, and I'll tell you a bit of history about Barcombe Mills Station, which is where we're at the moment. I'll show you around first. Obviously this is Barcombe Mills Road. Got here signal box, station, pub, platforms 1 and 2. The assets I've used are assets from I'm trying to think. I think it's a freeware pack which I stumbled across called the Lines to East Grinstead, which somebody has gone into very great detail on recreating all of these station buildings, canopies, and including signs, which that is a custom sign which I did not make. It came with all the other assets, and I've gone into great detail for it. I was hoping that route would come with the Barcombe Mills to Uckfield line, but it didn't. It just comes to Barcombe Mills. It mostly focuses on, obviously, Lewes to East Grinstead. So I thought I'd use the pack in using my own private railway, Barcombe Mills to East Grinstead. Not East Grinstead, sorry, Barcombe Mills to Uckfield. It'd be very strange if it went to East Grinstead. Very, very strange. So, yeah, as you can see, got my favourite West Country class, Sir Archibald Sinclair, in the down platform, which is platform 2, heading towards Uckfield. And yeah, to sort of achieve this, sort of where the station would have been at Barcombe Mills, I've used an interesting tool which uses Google Maps as an overlay, showing you where stuff used to be. But as this railway line is a disused railway line, the only thing it was showing me was where cuttings, embankments, and, trees and all that, rivers such as the Ouse River, which is this, and Barcombe Mills over there. It just shows me where all that is. This line I'm building is a fictional preserved railway. As far as I know, there's been talks about reopening this railway line as part of the national network. Well, I say national network, as part of the main line from Lewes to Uckfield once again. So yeah. Anyway, down here, this wasn't how the line used to be. This is something I've added on, as obviously this is a fictional preserved railway. You've got to have carriage shed and engine shed sort of complex. I've done my best in my own mind to make up something which probably would have been here, say in the late 60s, 70s, when the preservation movement was in its infancy. If you recognise this asset, it is I think the engine shed from the Spa Valley route, which again is a very good add-on. I think you can get that from UKTS. I've got plans to make it longer, because I know you can sort of change how things are in lengthwise and height-wise, which is what I've done with this. I've made this taller, I think a bit wider, because this is the engine shed from the Falmouth branch. I've just got a little tank engine, little Caledonian engine there. One of the new sort of engines that I've bought recently. I thought I'd test it out because I love tank engines, absolutely love tank engines. So yeah, so that's the engine shed and carriage shed. Over here we've got a head shunt, which wasn't part of the original track, where platforms 1 and 2 are. It did carry on straight, I think, to link up to either this track or this track. It went down here to Culver Junction, which is where I'm also trying to model. Obviously, I'm not going to put the track here, but I have modelled the fact that there used to be a track bed here. Culver Junction is where these 2 trees are now. That way goes to Uckfield, that way goes to East Grinstead. Anyway, in the original plan of the station, there was a loading goods platform where this track is here, but obviously preservationists have come in, taken that down, and they need something to maintain the locos and to bring in visitors, which is what I've got here. Got sort of a loading ramp, inspection pit, and then I'm going to put a platform there. But yeah, this is Barcombe Station. I'll just get over here so I've got like a nice view of it, and I'll run through some facts for you. So Barcombe Station is a disused railway station in the hamlet of Barcombe Mills on the closed section of the Wealdon line. The station was opened in 1858 and closed in 1969. The station was opened as Barcombe. It was renamed Barcombe Mills in 1885, so as to avoid confusion with Barcombe Station on the Lewes to East Grinstead line. Despite its name, the station is actually situated almost a mile to the south-east of Barcombe village. It was always a popular station for anglers who were able to fish for trout in the nearby River Ouse. On pre-World War II bank holidays, as many as 1,000 tickets were sold in one day. The station was listed for closure under the Beeching Report, but closure was delayed pending the outcome of an inquiry. The last train ran on 23rd of February 1969 due to the condition of a bridge near Lewes, but a bus service serving the stations until the official closure date. The track was removed in 1970 and the station was subsequently sold. Along the line it goes from Barcombe Mills to Isfield, and then from Isfield to Uckfield. And when we get to Isfield Station, I'll tell you a bit about history of that station. But now let's enjoy the train, really, enjoy the view. Not much to look at because, as I said, it's sort of work in progress for myself, but I thought I'd show you anyway. I thought I'd use the amazing Bosman Games logo for this. Love that sound. Right, what's that? Reversing light on, goes like, yep. Nice, cushy. Don't feel like firing, so let's get the automatic fireman to do that. Let the brake off. Now I can actually load passengers at this station because I've obviously put some markers and whatnot down, but the other stations I won't. Other stations I won't because I haven't really got that far yet. I've built the whole line and placed out what the stations would be, but I just haven't got around to building the stations yet, as I've been focused on my local. So yeah, I thought I'd get down here first, then go up to Isfield, do some of that, then do the in-betweeny bits. I think the head code to put on this. So that, there we go. Not that one. Not that one. Now I believe that's the Lewes to East Grinstead head code which I'll say we're not going that way. I just thought I'd put it on there because being a Bluebell engine, I'll put that head code on there. Okay. Anyway, without further ado, let's go up to Isfield and I'll tell you a bit of history about that. These are superb add-ons from Bossman Games. When I heard that they were releasing both Merchant Navies and West Countries, I have to admit I was very excited. Can't wait for the streamlined version at the moment of the, I think it's the Merchant Navies. Can't wait for that. It's going to be a great asset of the collection so far. So we're at the 15th. I have to admit, I'm having a bit of trouble with gradients and trying to figure out how to use the brush tool for sort of cuttings and embankments. I think for embankments I might just use sort of an asset for that. Because as you can tell, it's very flat on this railway at the moment, because I generally don't know what gradient it is, but I know when we get to Isfield it should be quite steep, but I think for this it's pretty much flat. I think we just crossed the Ouse River back there. Again, these are some assets from the branch lines to East Grinstead pack. I think they are, unless they're a separate asset I got from UKTS. I'll have to figure that one out. Just put some more on. These locos though are amazing. Absolutely love them. Very, very smooth. Anyway. Come on, quickly there. Try that. Just going up to another railway bridge which crosses the Ouse River again. Back there would have been another level crossing to go to a pub, the Anchor pub. I love these engines. They're challenging to drive. I love them. Even to try and keep speed, it's quite challenging. Mainly because I'm on the level, which didn't help. Yeah, we're just rounding the curve to Isfield. which I have to admit I haven't done much in terms of scenery around here. As I said before, I'm just focusing on Barcombe Mills at the moment, and I'm going to make my way up the line to the next station. I've put in basic things such as roads and platforms and stuff like that, just so that I know where stuff like that is. Sort of key things like roads, rivers, yeah. But I think I may have to redo the track work entering Isfield Station, as it's got quite a big kink in it, and I'm not quite satisfied with that. So I thought I'd have another crack at that. Issue with that was that I was using an overlay tool for Google Maps, which is a very good tool. But for some reason, once you got to Isfield Station, it sort of kinked over a bit, and I couldn't quite understand where to go with the track bed and all that. So we're just entering platform 1 or 2, I believe. Yeah, as you can see, it is a bit of a kink, and I know for a fact that Isfield Station hasn't got that kink in it. It's just dead straight, and then it curves round to the right or left, whichever way you're looking at it. But no, we're just entering the station now. So back on. Go forward, brake off. Right, so let's have a look. Let's see, I've got room at that end. I can never get that right. Never get that right. Anyway, bit of history about Isfield Station for a bit. Here we go. Isfield is a preserved railway station on the closed section of the Wealdon line, which served the East Sussex village of Isfield near Uckfield. Originally opened in 1858, the station closed in 1969 and was sold into private hands in 1983. It's currently the Lavender line, which stretches from the original site of the station to the river bridge, I think about just under a mile that way, where they've made sort of a little halt called Little Horsted Halt, and yeah, all they do is just go back and forth down this stretch of track. Being a preserved railway in real life, there's like an engine shed, the remnants of the yard here. More history on it. Serving relatively a rural area, Isfield was a quiet station on the busy through from Brighton to Tunbridge Wells. Equipped with 2 platforms, the main building, station building, were up on one side, whilst a small wooden waiting shelter was provided for the down platform. There was no footbridge between the platforms, but passengers could easily cross by the level crossing just to the west of the station. The last train ran on 23rd of February 1969. The station remained open to issue bus tickets until the buses themselves were withdrawn on May 6th of the same year. By the sounds of it, not much of a history really. I mean, it closed the same sort of year as Barcombe, because obviously the same railway and all that. So we'll go up the line to Uckfield. I found some history about that. Line to Uckfield. Might sort out that point as well, because that's a bit sharp for my liking. But that's, I think, original to the track plan, because, like I said, this is reserved railway from Isfield up to the river, so I'm basically just following the track that's there at the moment. So that must be quite sharp then. Here we go, start increasing speed now. You can also see what I mean about gradients, because I know for a fact that this stretch of track has quite a steep gradient up the line. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite flat, which I can't seem to get my head around, but I'll probably sort that out at some point. Right now this would be the end of the line, the Lavender line. I think around here somewhere would be the bridge, there's the bridge, sorry, the platform the little horse did. That's the end of that line. Then we start the ascent up to Uckfield, which is just round the bend. It isn't really that far. Yeah. Again, like I said, I've trouble with gradients, because I can't seem to find any documents or anything like that on what the gradients were for this line. I'm just having to go off of what the terrain throws up, what the railway would have done. It's sort of off my own memory as well, especially between Barcombe Mills and Isfield, as I've walked it a few times. I think somewhere around here would have been the crossing that I'm going to add in for the A27 or the A26, or the Uckfield bypasses, as the locals call it. For that I'm just going to let the railway go on its original course on the embankment, and have the road to go over it on a flyover. Yeah, I think Uckfield Station's literally just around the bend here, so we're on the outskirts of Uckfield at the moment. Like I said, the Uckfield bypass is where this bit of track is, so I'll make a bridge for that. I'll say make a bridge for that, place a bridge for that. Have the bypass going over the railway. Tell you a bit of history about Uckfield Station, as well as why I've placed it as it is, and what my plans are for it. In Uckfield Station. I tried to place it on the original site using Google Maps, but again it did the same problem as what it did at Isfield, and the tiles didn't quite match up. So I ended up making sort of a makeshift station on the site nearest to the station, which is, I think, currently a car park, which is where the station is actually. So if you loaded up the tiles for Google, it would show you that this station is actually in a car park. A couple of screeching halt there. There we go. So, yep. I think over here would be the River Ouse, because we basically follow that the whole way up. This end where the head shunt is, I've put it close-ish to the main road. If I pause it, go to the world editor. That, press G. You see all the blue circles because it's trying to load up the tabs and whatnot. So here you are. Here you go. Right. I'll pause. Unpin that. So see where I am. The car park is where the station was. It was more down here though. From what I could see from pictures and whatnot, I think the station was actually where I put the head shunt, but I thought I'd put it back there, being a preserved railway. They were kind of doing a bit of a bluebell and putting up a permanent platform. So I sort of did this over here. So I'm going to call this Uckfield West. As you can see from Google Images, you've got the actual Uckfield station, or the Uckfield line here. It used to go straight over there. So that's why this has got a bit of a weird kink to it, because I thought I'd put this back in place here where the car park is, and then sort of have the existing car park, which is over here, as a car park for the station, for this station. Then obviously place the houses there and road and whatnot. But I've got quite a bit of quite a bit to do here. But that's something down the line, as I say. So yeah, the original. Well, I say the original. The station that exists now, which is here, and then my station for my railway, for the preserved railway, is there. Yeah, and I'll tell you a bit of history about this, about Uckfield Station. Uckfield Station is the southern terminus of a branch of the Oxford line in England, serving the town of Uckfield, East Sussex. The first station was opened in 1858 by the Lewis and Uckfield Railway Company. It was situated south of the High Street and became a through station when the line was extended northwards towards Tunbridge Wells West in 1868. After closure, the line south to Lewes in 1969, the original station found itself on the wrong side of the High Street level crossing, which created traffic congestion whenever a train was arriving or departing. It was therefore decided to close the original station and open a new station on the other side of the High Street. The present Uckfield Station opened in 1991, replacing the original structure, which was sited 55 yards, or 50 metres, to the south of the original station. The original station was demolished on the 9th of December 2000 after having been damaged by flooding. As part of Network Rail's National Stations Improvement Programme, Uckfield received a new station building to replace the 1991 porter cabin type structure, which was deemed not fit for purpose. The new building was built to Network Rail's modular prefabricated design, as used at Mitcham Eastfields. The components of Uckfield's new station include the ticket office, public toilet, staff accommodation, ticket hall, and cafe. Were manufactured by Brit Space in Yorkshire and installed by contractors Brennan Langley. The new building, which cost £750,000, was opened for passenger use on the 16th of March 2010. We've reached the terminus of my railway anyway, but what I'll do is, like I said, I'll add the new station, which I've just told you about, history. I'll add the new one there and just have those separate. But the thing is that you can still see the original signal box, which is here. Level crossing, which was about there. The station was demolished and moved from here. So yes, this is Isfield. You can see the original track there, which I will add in eventually. I will have a sort of a yard here as well, so I will add that in. It's either I've gone too gracious with the curve, or I've gone too long with the platform. I don't know. Either way, it's something I'm not too happy with, so I'll probably try and go straight out of here and take less of a cut and meet up with that there, because this seems too far over for me. So yeah, I'll probably rework that. So here we are back down at my local station. If I hit Control G again, you can see that I have actually started to place buildings and whatnot, and trees and all that where they should be. There is a reason why you can see the original station buildings there. The platform used to just butt up to the road there, but I've got a bit of a self-made story for that. Basically, usually when the station closed in '69, I think it said '69, they demolished everything, platform buildings, everything, platforms themselves. So the preservationists came along and they built a new station, which is this one you see here. That's sort of my story behind my little mess up. And plus, when I started building this, I had no idea how to properly use the Google overlay. But like I said, I'm doing my best. It's for me anyway, so it's not. I'm not trying to get it to a perfect standard. I'm trying to get it to something that I can just potter along the trains, passenger trains and whatnot. Can't really do freight because, well, I suppose I could keep this as a preserved railway and then redo it as a proper railway like it used to be, I suppose. But yeah, down there, Barcombe Mills. As you can see, I've started to put the little roads in, but you can also see that I'm not too great with all the terrain, so the roads are a bit blocky and horrible and all that. Because I just don't know what to do in terms of the brush tool. I'm terrible at using it. I've no idea how to use it and get perfect, so I'm sort of experimenting with it. But like I said, I'm trying my best. So this is all the Barcombe Mills. The mills were here, where this road is. Funny enough, this is the original Barcombe Mills road, going along here and along around there. But they added this bit in, this swooping bit in, later on. I think it was after the mills burnt down. I think, if I can remember, I don't know. So yeah, that was the original road. The mills used to be there. There was also another section of track, pretty much where I've got my loading track over there. It used to come around across the road down here to here. And there used to be like a small yard that fed the mill that was just across the river here. And there is actually a toll bridge there. You should probably see on the Google map overlay. There's a hut there and everything. There's still a sign on there, believe it or not. As you can see, I've sort of raised up the track because that is how it is in real life, obviously. These are South Downs, there and there, the second set. The first set's sort of over the hills that way. Yeah, basically where I've got the track, come down here on the original track bed, and they've used two of the tracks in the carriage shed, and it used to carry on behind here. And obviously I've put the trees in the correct places where the trees are in this day and age. I've got to put some more. But yeah, there's the farm, there's the bridge, Culver Junction. Culver Junction is actually here where these trees are. So you go that way down to Uckfield, that way down to East Grinstead. Go around the bend, there is an embankment there. Through into a deep cutting, which is where I've stopped because I don't quite know how far to go with scenery, so I thought I'd go over here. Won't go too far and all that, but I do want enough sort of scenery so like it doesn't cut out too close from wherever the train is or wherever I am. So I'll probably go a tad further that way. Again, another road bridge, got a place there. I'll leave this without track, a bit like what I've done there. But yeah, all this here is fictional. It's from my mind. I've got to carry on with the river. I've got to carry on swooping around. It's a bit of a strange river that, because it swoops around and it's quite bendy and twisted and all that, and fields and whatnot. That's my project so far. like I said, I'll probably carry on building stuff down here, and then go up the line to Isfield, start on Isfield, and then I'll probably leave Uckfield last, and then just come back and do bits in between stations like the scenery and whatnot. It's mostly just fields. It's mostly fields, so I'll probably do that as I go up the line, do bits and pieces here and there, and then that'll be it. Do forgive me because I'm sort of new to this whole YouTube thing. I hope to get better at it because I do like it as a hobby as well as all this. So yeah, if you do like the video, please hit a like, subscribe, and if you've got any tips on how to do gradient or do better embankments so it's not too blocky or anything sort of like this really, because that in a way gets on my nerves. That does, because it's terrain doesn't do that in real life. That gets on my nerves. So if you've got any ideas on how to get rid of sort of this, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video. And again, if you do like it, please hit like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And that's it. Bye.